Hello lovely simmers, SimsEclaire here and welcome back to my channel. For today's video we are working on our Willow Creek save file, or I should say the Willow Creek portion of my save file, and for this home, this is going to be kind of like a crafter's home and like a artsy, loves the outdoors, kind of like a hippie crafter. So my idea for this sim is she is a single sim. She has lived in Willow Creek probably her whole life. I think she probably grew up with Eliza, and they've kind of been friends for a while. They kind of broke apart when Eliza got married and they kind of went their separate ways. I think that this sim probably went off to college, probably Brightchester. She was, in the arts, and she got an art degree, like a liberal arts degree, and now she works as a freelancer. I think she probably owns a art shop around town, I should say, and she probably does a lot of different, crafting things for her neighbors and for the people around town. And I think that her and Eliza have kind of like rekindled their relationship now that Eliza is no longer with Bob and she needs help raising Natalie, her child. So I do end up putting a couple of like toddler things around because I thought that her and Eliza probably spent a lot of time together, especially since Eliza's kind of rediscovering herself and her love of the arts just like this sim has. So I think that they probably, spend some time doing art together, and maybe she's trying to teach Eliza some things and stuff like that. But that was my idea for this sim. Now, at the moment, she is single. I did kind of plan on there being a little bit of a romance between her and Eliza, but if you guys don't want to play that way with my save file, obviously it is up to you. You can leave her single and they can just be really good friends, or you can have her find somebody else to fall in love with. But that was my idea, that her and Eliza would kind of get together in the end. And going up around the house, this is a really nice house for the fact that she's just an artist that probably just got out of school. Now, I was thinking she rented this house because there's 3 neighborhoods in Willow Creek the way I'm building it. There is the Eastern Villas, which is like the super really nice ones where the goths live. There's Riverside Acres, which is where Eliza lives. That's kind of more of like the middle class income, high suburban area. And then there's Aspen Vistas, which is this area of town. And I was definitely thinking this was a little bit more of like a lower to middle class income, like not super poor, not like the side of Oasis Springs where Johnny was living, but more like just a little bit like lower middle class area. So I thought that this sim was probably renting this home. Maybe a couple recently moved out of town and so they had this extra house and they were letting them rent it. Or maybe this is just someone's extra property and they're renting it. But I definitely thought that because this is a little bit of a nicer home for a solo artist type to be living in, definitely thought they were renting it. That's why all the walls on the inside are pretty bare. There isn't a whole lot of paint going on, despite how, colorful and bright this sim is. They bring that all in with their furniture and their artwork and kind of like their personal style, but not any of the painting, like not any of the wall paint or anything like that. And going up here to the front porch area, there is a small little seating section. It just has these 2 chairs from Seasons. Going with the rest of the style of the build, they're very colorful, and I'm adding a whole bunch of plants because I also thought that this sim probably gardened, and you also saw I added some wind turbines and some solar panels to the house as well. I thought that this sim was probably into being green and loving nature. They had some dogs. I was thinking probably 2, but maybe even more than that. I didn't think they'd be a cat lady, but I definitely thought they'd have quite a bit of animals running around their home. And then up here in the front area, we have a very, very basic entrance area. I'm using the table from Movie Hangout just so I can get some more colors in and kind of make it a little bit more bright. And I also like the design on this table. Since she is an artist and kind of like a crafter, I kind of thought maybe she had built this table herself and like designed it and painted it, and that's why she puts it on full display. And I'm placing a couple of clutter items around, including a box of kind of junk on the floor. I figured that maybe she had just moved into this home, or maybe she was working on another project, so she had a couple of clutter items running around. I should say lying around. Objects don't necessarily run around at home. But over here we are going to have a little bit of a seating area with the ottomans from City Living. I chose the City Living ottomans because they have bright patterns on the top of them, and then they also have books underneath. I thought if they had initially been a college student, they probably learned how to store things in random places, you know, make most out of the small space that they had. So I was kind of trying to play off of that and give them a couple of nooks and crannies to have some stuff in. And then over here I'm using the Movie Hangout palm plant. I've been using this quite a bit recently. I put up a short on Thursday that used this plant quite a bit, and I really like this plant in this swatch only. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like the colorful leaves. Like, I don't like the leaves that are like purple and everything because it just looks super fake. But I really like the plant in this swatch as long as you size it down, because if you don't size it down, it doesn't fit anywhere. But over here is like a little laundry nook. I wanted to play with platforms, and I do end up putting the living room on a lower platform as well. So there's like the medium ground level, which is where you come in through the front entrance, and then you have to step up a level to get out here to like the laundry area and the back door, and then you have to step down a level to get to the living room and the kitchen. So I thought that that was kind of cool, especially since she is renting this house. It's obviously a much older home, and a lot of older homes have, you know, steps ups and steps downs, and I've talked about this in one of my other videos before, but they don't all have like an even foundation, so I thought that that just kind of lended to the idea that this was an older home. I also did not think this sim watched a lot of TV, so I just gave them the small TV from Eco Lifestyle. Thought that that fit their lifestyle just a little bit better. And then I put up that, I think it's from Backyard Stuff, but it's that 3-picture like gallery wall hanging thing, I guess, because it has a lot of bright colors that kind of match the pillows I was using on these couches. And then over here I wanted to put some plants in this window. Now obviously you can't place plants in the windows, but I found this trick that if you actually go to the outside, you can raise it up easier to get farther into the windowsill, because you can only go as far as the wall that the window's hanging on, but if you go to the outside, technically it like juts out from the wall, so if you lean them against the wall, then they're on the inside of the window. It took me a while to figure it out, but you could kind of see the process I was going for. And then over here I did use a mix of cabinets and open shelves because I thought that that kind of fit this style a little bit better. I thought maybe she added these shelves for a little bit more space, just so she could fit some more clutter items. I add some plates up here, and then the tea canisters from Snowy Escape, and then a couple of spice jars and plants and stuff like that, just to make it as colorful as the rest of the home. And besides that, the kitchen is pretty basic. I mean, I don't do a lot of decorations because there isn't a lot of counter space, so I wanted to make sure that the kitchen was usable, so I pretty much just clutter up that corner cabinet, or corner counter I should say. I add some drying herbs and stuff because I figured she probably grew herbs in her garden, and then hung them here for her to use to cook with. And then the one cabinet that is free is the one sitting next to the refrigerator, so your sim is able to cook. I did play test it. And then I also added a food bowl. Like I said, I did think that they had a pet, so I added a food bowl. And then up here is the upstairs bathroom. So there is two, well, technically there's 1.5 bathrooms. So the bathroom downstairs just has a toilet and a sink. This one up here has the toilet, sink, and bathtub shower combo. So it's perfect to have as like the ensuite, or like the bathroom upstairs to actually, you know, be near the bedroom. And then it also has the bathtub, obviously, so that way she can bathe her dog, or if Eliza's over and the toddler Natalie needs a bath, she can go ahead and give Natalie a bath. And then up here I figured this is like their crafting space. I used a lot of the nifty knitting stuff, but I also gave them a art easel and a candle making kit, I believe is the one that I placed up here from Eco Lifestyle, just so that way they had a couple of different crafting options to go ahead and make some money with. And I'm decorating this space. I found the perfect patio rug, and I have only ever seen like the one swatch that they put on the cover of the rug, and I never knew how many swatches it had, so I never used it. But there are so many cute and bright and colorful swatches for that rug. I think I used it in every room of the house, just in different swatches, except for this room. Apparently I used the Seasons rug in this room, but I did not realize that that rug had so many swatches, and I was like, oh my god, like this is perfect for this build. But in here, this is the one bedroom in the house. I do add a couple of plants, and then also some more nifty knitting clutter items, just to show that she's probably working on her arts and crafts all the time, and like it's something she's really into. And then I'm using that base game wardrobe. I've been using it a lot. I just find that it takes up the least amount of space. Like because all of our wardrobes usually take up so much space that you can never have like a small bedroom, but these take up not that much, and so it's easier to maneuver them around and place them against walls and stuff in bedrooms to make sure that bedrooms are still functional and you can still get to both sides of the bed. But then out here, this is the back patio area. I'm doing a little bit of a cement ground where the steps lead out to, and I'm giving them a seating area with a grill and a couple of chairs and a coffee table. I don't do any like actual dining sets, but I thought if they were sitting out here was more like lounge time, you know, they were waiting for their plants or they had just gotten done watering their plants or something like that. But besides this, that is it for this video, so I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!